I want to introduce Dr. David Nazarian, board certified in internal medicine. His Beverly Hills concierge medicine practice is recognized as one of the top medical practices in the LA area. And also here is Desiree Nazarian, an MPH nutritionist who specializes in weight loss with over 16 years experience. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We kind of have here the two extremes with John and Jules here. What jumps out at you most? Let's talk about John first, eating raw chicken breast and goat's eyes and whatever the hell else he was choking down.
Raw meat, unpasteurized milk, there's risk for bacteremia from different bacteria, E. coli, salmonella, campylobacter, listeria from milk. You can also get parasites causing roundworms, tapeworms. There's a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii that causes toxoplasmosis, which basically is inflammation of the brain. It's also called encephalitis. It could be deadly. So in a way, John is playing a game of risk. It just takes one infected meat or dairy for him to become sick.
Yeah, and these are serious infections. I mean, this stuff gets in your body.
Absolutely.
And it can invade and create a serious health problem.
Absolutely.
So to be clear, we don't recommend this in any way, shape, or form.
No. I mean, there's a reason why they recommend cooking meat. There's staph infection in uncooked meat. There's all the different bacteria, parasites. It really doesn't matter how high of a quality meat he buys or unpasteurized milk. It just becomes playing odds, and at some point, all you need is just one infection, and he'll get in trouble.
You claim to have helped your clients cure cancer, diabetes, and suicidal ideation.
Yeah, and lots more liver issues, gallbladder issues, anything.
That's just absolutely not true. Jules, you claim to have helped your clients cure different anomalies, right?
Yeah.
You've claimed to help them cure cancer, diabetes, and suicidal ideation.
Yeah, and lots more warts, tumors, liver issues, gallbladder issues, anything. It's all about declogging because the ingredients in all of our foods now, if you look at the ingredients, it's got xanthan gum, maltodextrine, dyes, and these things just simply don't digest.
That's a dangerous statement. You just said you claim to help them cure cancer, diabetes, and other things, and you say it's all about declogging. That's just absolutely not true.
You're not curing cancer. You're not curing gallbladder disease. You're not curing any of these illnesses. It's really, and you don't need to go to such extremes. You really just need to have a balanced diet that's healthy and watch your weight, and you will have all the results that you're looking for.
Unfortunately, what I found was that when you get into this extended juice fasting, you eliminate pounds and pounds of toxic waste. And this stuff we don't know about. Nobody knows about it because we don't do this type of fasting anymore in this day and age. And as we start to digest this old stuff, nobody knows we have it because I had a flat stomach, I wasn't overweight, and it just keeps coming. And then my clients, over 250 people as well had it, and it's from foreign protein, that's meat, refined sugars, gluten, all these things that are simply not for human consumption. You say eating fruit is extreme. Now, isn't it extreme to eat chemicals?
Desiree, what do you say about this?
So I really think that eating fruits is very crucial. It does have a lot of vitamins and minerals that your body needs, but you're missing out on major food groups. So I think it's really important to practice moderation and balance. You really need the calcium from dairy products or non-dairy alternatives. It's really important to get protein. I don't really see much protein coming from your diet. You're saying that you're moving closer to having nuts and seeds, which is applaudable, because just strictly being on fruits, you're not getting any protein from fruits. And also, if you're having so much fruit that your sugar content is so high, that can lead to diabetes and high insulin levels.
That's actually all false. So if your body is acidic, from eating acidic foods like meats and dairies, products, then your body is going to leach its own calcium out of its bones to try to make yourself more alkaline. So you want to follow an alkaline diet with the protein. Mother's breast milk is only 1% protein. There's other people here today that are going to talk about how they had so much protein it hurt their kidneys.
And you shouldn't have so much protein. Again, balance.
One watermelon has 19 grams of protein in it. Now, I eat a whole watermelon with
a cup of watermelon actually has 0.9 grams of protein in it.
I'm talking the entire large watermelon.
Yeah, but nobody should sit down and eat an entire large watermelon. That's extremely high in sugar.
Yeah.
So actually, fructose is the only sugar that does not require insulin to cross the cell membrane. So it actually will not cause diabetes. This is a huge myth, and it is killing people.
You should eat fruit, and you should eat a good amount of fruit, but you should also eat vegetables, and you should also eat nuts and seeds and whole grains like quinoa and brown rice.
How is this impacting the child at 3 years old?
I feel like it's going to throw off her hormones. It can cause developmental and growth delays. It's really important for children to get enough calcium, to get enough protein, carbohydrates from whole grains. It's crucial, especially when little girls are growing. So I think it's really crucial to be able to eat from all of the food pyramid.
So let's think about this. So bread is a man-made food. It's not a real food, so not a food group. It's made from flour. That's not for human consumption. Then we go to the meats, like John said, they're factory farm animals, they're sick, they're heavily vaccinated. Hormones, that's going to affect your child's hormones. My daughter, her teachers sat me down and they were like, we really love the way you feed her. After nap, she is so vibrant and awake, whereas a lot of the other kids are in this food comatose. They're eating packaged cheese with processed packaged cheese, old leftover pizzas. My daughter's eating kiwis, strawberries, fruits, mushrooms, you know, nut pâtés, and fresh cold pressed juice every day.
I applaud you for giving her all of these healthy fruits. It's great, but how about vegetables? Vegetables are amazing. How about the nuts and the seeds? The whole grains.
Those are great, but they're not as ideal as
you can send a sweet potato. You don't have to send pizza.
All right, we have to take a break. Next is the hottest new weight loss craze in Hollywood. Comedian Chelsea Handler even joked about it on stage at the Grammys. So what is it? And is it safe? We're going to meet two women who say, no, you need to beware. That's after the break. Dr. Nazarian, you say this is a frightening trend.
People are seeing it on TV and they're like, wow, this worked.
I got very, very sick. Nausea, vomiting, unbelievable pain, checked into the hospital.
Some celebrities and social media influencers are using a new diabetes medicine to lose weight, but their popularity is causing shortages.
I've lost a pound of weight.
They seem to be everywhere on social media.
I've now weighed 143 pounds.
Dramatic stories of weight loss, like Jennifer Huber's.
It's like, who's that person in the mirror?
Wegovy has a higher dose of the same active ingredient used in a diabetes drug called Ozempic, which is not approved for weight loss. Both are so popular, some doses are in short supply. Troubling for people using Ozempic to treat diabetes.
Social media is pushing this. There's so many pressures on people to lose weight. Ozempic was hard for diabetics to get even before this happened. So then to just see all these people, essentially anyone that has the money to do it, get it instantaneously, it's very frustrating.
Well, the most recent diet trend sweeping Hollywood and social media is taking diabetes drugs to lose weight fast. Now, Kim Kardashian is rumored to have taken them to fit into the Marilyn Monroe dress she wore to the Met Ball, and Chelsea Handler joked at the Grammys that everyone she knows is on it. Now, Lauren joins us on stage, and Haley, who joins us virtually, were both prescribed a diabetes drug off-label for weight loss. Both had very serious reactions, and both ended up in the hospital. Haley, let me start with you. Tell us, just in summary fashion, what happened.
In October of 21, I saw a functional med doctor, and I was told after labs I was insulin resistant. I was recommended to take the semaglutide, which is the generic brand of Ozempic. So I started taking that, and lo and behold, I got very sick, nauseous, vomiting, hunched over in pain, heating pad in my guts, could barely make it to work. I was tachycardic. I would get up from the couch and go to the kitchen, and my heart rate was pounding out of my chest. I ended up in the hospital because I...
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Even though it made you sick and put you in the hospital, you continued to take it at a lower dose?
I did. You know, I was listening as a professional.
Okay. Now, Lauren, you had a similar experience to Haley, right?
Yes.
And you also ended up in the hospital, but your reaction was much more immediate.
Yes. Yes.
What happened?
When I started it, I got very, very sick. It was too high of a dose. I couldn't control my nausea, vomiting. It triggered my gastritis. I was in unbelievable pain, checked into the hospital, and that was what it was about. But I actually, what a lot of people don't know is that Ozempic also comes in a generic brand called semaglutide. So that it's not in these pre-dosed pens. So it's also cheaper, by the way. And your doctor can then titrate you properly based on your weight. So I'm actually back on it, but I'm on it in a very small amount, and it's very slow.
So it puts you in the hospital, but you're back on it.
I am, but on a very small amount.
That's interesting to me, that something that made you sick. Did they tell either of you about potential side effects?
I had it a while back. So one of the reasons why I went on it is just like I'm a psychotherapist, and a lot of my patients were because of the shutdowns, they weren't able, they were eating, they were drinking too much, they weren't exercising. And when they went back to work and around other people and dating again, they wanted to lose weight.
Sure.
So that was sort of the reason why I did it. And it was a long time ago. So it was before all the social media has come out with all these warnings about people having the same side effects that Haley and I are having.
And like she said, I was on it way before it got very popular, and I'm actually not on it anymore. I substitute now with fasting and fiber. I go back to what people did in the day, and I got my insulin levels down with that.
Dr. Nazarian, you say this is a frightening trend, and I'm curious, what happens when they come off of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a frightening trend because people are seeing it on TV and they're like, wow, this worked. These medications are powerful medications. They're not for everyone. You can have many side effects, including gallbladder disease, gallstones leading to cholecystitis, pancreatitis. There's a contraindication if you have a family history of thyroid cancer not to take it. They need to have proper follow-up, lab work. I'm seeing and hearing people are just being prescribed these medications without proper workup and follow-up. Once you come off it, they shouldn't really have ongoing symptoms. It doesn't stay in your body, if you will.
Well, is there going to be weight gain when they come off of it?
Yes, any of these medications that are used for weight loss, unless you make lifestyle changes, you change the way you're eating, and you go back to eating large portions, unhealthy, you can gain the weight back.
Yeah, I understand that this has actually created a shortage of the drug for people with diabetes.
Absolutely.
Because they couldn't get it because it became so popular off-label.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Next, a woman who followed a TikTok influencer's recipes for satisfying her sweet tooth while on a strict ketogenic diet to lose weight fast. We're going to find out why she ended up in the ER and why she's still suffering the consequences today. We'll be right back.
I I go to UCLA. I was Miss California's Outstanding Teen, so I've done pageants my whole life. And I'm also a baton twirler. And in those environments, fad diets are a real thing. And what affects it the most is social media. We constantly are scrolling on our phones and seeing different influencers tell us how to get skinny quick. I fell into that trap. I saw keto online. I was told that it was a quick way to lose weight. I was competing in a pageant, so of course, why wouldn't I do it? I didn't think of the negative effects that it had on my body. I was drinking heavy whipping cream smoothies every day with all these chemicals and these dyes, and unfortunately it sent me into the ER, and I chemically overdosed, and I don't want anyone to ever go through that. And let's stop with the get this quick, do this quick, because, you know, our bodies aren't meant to handle that.
Well, today we're talking about how regular people are being influenced to try health, fitness, and diet trends they see on social media, often to the detriment of their health and well-being. We just talked to two ladies that wound up in the hospital. Cameron admits that she followed the advice of social media influencers to try a no-sugar, practically no-carb diet. And to satisfy her sugar cravings, she also turned to social media, again with terrible results. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What happened to you?
So I fell into the trap again with social media and comparing myself, and I think that's a huge message for my generation, especially women in my generation, to not look online and compare yourself to different bodies, because Dr. Phil, half the time these bodies aren't realistic. Have you ever heard of Facetune?
Yes.
Okay. So people use that to, you know, correct their bodies in ways that is really harmful for other people. So I thought that I needed to lose weight quick. So I looked online and I found keto, and that's where it took a toll.
What told you I'm heading the wrong direction here?
So when I was doing the diet, I didn't put two and two together that maybe these smoothies are what's causing these reactions, until unfortunately we ended up in this situation when my mom turned me over and said, get in the car, we're going to the ER.
What was triggering all of this?
So it was a chemical overdose. I technically overdosed on drugs without even knowing it. It was all of those sweeteners and the numbers and the dyes that were in that smoothie and the excess amount that I was doing it. And that's what's so important on social media, is people promote these, you know, recipes and don't understand that people might do it in excess, and that's really dangerous.
She's really identifying something important here. It's a matter of how much and knowing what's in there, because these people on the internet many times have zero credentials.
Absolutely.
They're just coming up with something that sounds cool and it's easy and they market it well. And so people say, hey, work for them, I'll dive into it. But there's no science behind it at all.
Absolutely. It's 100% true. And they're not taking any accountability for your health. So you really need to watch out who you're listening to.
Have you recovered fully, completely?
I'd say I'm better. As I said in the video, I'm still facing the repercussions of my liver, my kidney, my enzymes being high because of it. And I think not understanding the effects of something, and as we talked about earlier, something that's get here quick is never good for your body. And so my body is still in shock and still recovering from how quick I wanted to lose this weight, because I was comparing myself to other women and unrealistic body styles.
Yeah, and something that's get there quick, the recovery's not near as fast.
No way.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, next we're going to talk to a woman who worked with an online bodybuilding coach who put her on such a strict diet that at one point she could only eat 10 foods. We'll meet her after the break and find out what happened.
I became immersed in the bodybuilding culture 3 years ago. I followed many bodybuilders on Instagram and social media, but I did pick an online health and nutrition coach, which led me down the wrong path. They used extreme measures to get us lean. I was over-exercising, under-eating. I ended up getting really sick. It's 3 years later, and I have lasting kidney issues, several injuries. I lost all my hair. I had major stomach issues that ended me in the hospital with an abscess. Be careful who you are listening to when you're getting your nutritional advice on the internet.
Well, Dawn, thank you for being here. So you you were working out hard, you were getting advice on not only exercise, but nutrition. Where did you find this coach?
Well, like a lot of people, I looked online for my inspiration, and I found a bodybuilding coach that seemed to be a good fit for me. I had also just been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, so I saw that some of his clients had autoimmune diseases, and he was able to work with them as well.
He put you on a diet, and it got down to just 10 foods. What were you living on? What were you existing on?
So on top of the bodybuilder way of life, they also put me on the autoimmune paleo diet, which was very restrictive in what foods you could eat. So for my carbohydrate sources, I was not allowed any grains or beans or rice, which athletes are usually taking when they're doing the kind of output I was putting out. But instead, I existed on sweet potatoes and bananas, things like that.
All right. And what was your goal? What were you trying to get to? What were you trying to achieve?
Well, I was going to do a bodybuilding competition in April of 2020.
Okay.
And of course, COVID hit, which just makes it even harder to deal with. But I never got to do my show, but I ended up with a ton of health problems instead. At first, I just noticed that I wasn't able to sleep through the night. My hair was falling out. I was always dehydrated, but I ended up going to the ER several times, probably 3 or 4 times, to get an IV because I was so dehydrated. And no matter how much I drank or how many, Gatorades I took in, I could not stay hydrated.
When you look back on it now, what do you think?
I wish that I had taken better care of my health. I wish that I had known what to monitor. And by the way, while all this was going down, nobody was bothering to ask for labs or to be monitoring any of the internal stuff. Once I finally did start looking at labs, it was heartbreaking that I had had so many problems. I had high liver enzymes. I had kidney issues. My cholesterol went up.
Did you check on the training or the background of who was putting together this protocol for you?
I never looked into his actual education, but he had been a coach for several years, and he had hundreds of clients.
Yeah, of which you were one.
Exactly.
We did. And he is educated in marketing and business. That's what we found.
Surprising.
And he did have a certification in health and physical education from a non-accredited organization. The quality and accuracy of the material is being heavily debated. So, you have to ask sometimes and check to see what what the background is. You know that now.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
Hey, thanks for telling me now.
I definitely know now.
Yeah. All right, next, buyer beware. What everyone needs to know before taking advice from social media about health, wellness, and diet trends. We'll be right back. We're back talking about health, fitness, and what you find on the internet and the social media platforms. And this has become big business on social media, where trainers, fitness trainers, diet gurus go on. And, I think old sayings get to be old sayings because they're profound. Things go from generation to generation to generations because they're profound. And if something sounds too good to be true, it's probably because it's too good to be true. You just have to use common sense, and you have to dig in and find out who's talking to you. What do they know? Maybe they're in good shape, and so they look good, but does that mean they know how to tell you what to do? You need to find out who they are and look at science. Doctor, if there's a rule of thumb for people to follow in engaging an approach to health and well-being, how would you sum it up in 30 seconds?
You know, I think you said it correctly. People really need to do their own research. There are a lot of great qualified physicians that are practicing here in the U.S. Ask them. If you see something you're curious about, ask them. But in regards to health, really, there are no quick fixes. You got to work hard, do something that's balanced, something that's sustainable, something that you can keep up. That's a lifestyle change, and you can reach your goals.
I 100% agree. If it's extreme, just don't do it. If it's extreme, that means it's not something that's sustainable, and you're going to eventually gain the weight back. So it's really important to find that balance, to lead a healthy lifestyle, have a high fiber, low sugar diet. Again, don't do anything extreme. That's what my philosophy is.
Yeah, you know, I think technology is great, and as I was saying earlier, I just had a knee replacement on my left knee, and they say, wow, this is great. You know, you can turn the clock back 40 years, and it looks great and all. But I tell you what, I'm doing physical therapy 4 times a week, and it is hard work. You got to change your lifestyle and do things to fold that into your body and your lifestyle. And there's no easy thing where you just go pop in a new part and then you're just off.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, to go. It takes time and hard work, and there's no shortcuts.
No.
And you've got to change your lifestyle and do it in a balanced way if you want it to last.
Yeah.
And I think that's true with anything.
100%.
And compare yourself to you, not to other people, and check out who you're talking to. I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Dr. David Nazarian and Desiree Nazarian. I assume you all know each other.
Yeah.
For more information about today's episode, if you'd like to share your story, log on to drphil.com. We'll be discussing all this on my social platforms, and you'll have opinions, I'm sure. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to my podcast, Fill in the Blanks, with episodes that are designed to dig in deep to some of these things, and we answer questions on there as well. Also, check out Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw, and you're going to find ways to be empowered, motivated, and excited to live your happiest and healthiest life there. She has real experts with real credentials from real universities and with real education. You can find them both wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much, guys.